thousands of kilometers away from the illegally occupied Palestinian territories, an Israeli company that continuously violates international law is profiting from murky and exploitative practices in Latin America. Mekerot, Israel's national water company, founded in 1937, controls over 80% of the water resources in Palestine's occupied West Bank. It's known as one of the world's most advanced water companies. But behind that facade, it's accused of using water as a means to further Israel's illegal occupation of Palestine by human rights organizations such as B'Tselem, with evidence proving that Mekerot actively deprives Palestinians of sufficient supplies while pumping ample water to illegal Jewish settlements in the occupied West Bank.
اليوم بنلاحظ انه مشاريع الزراعة في المستوطنات هي منتعشة جدا نتيجة انه في هناك كميات كبيرة من المياه، بينما في المقابل التجمعات الفلسطينية بتلاقيها تجمعات جافة لا يوجد فيها ماء حتى للشرب. هذا كلياته بشكل وبيؤدي لعمليات تهجير، لعمليات هجرة، لعمليات ترك الأرض.
Mekerot apparently wasn't satisfied with its ambitions in the occupied Palestinian territories and has been stretching its nefarious business ventures to other parts of the world, including Latin America. Often signing contracts through backroom deals, Mekerot has gotten hold of multi-million-dollar consulting projects in Mexico, Colombia, Uruguay, Chile, and the Dominican Republic. The company's expansion across Latin America has been successful as Mekerot has been able to exploit the same pattern across multiple countries in the region. First, under the guise of modernizing water systems, governments push technocratic privatizing schemes without public consultation. Second, contracts bypass competitive bidding and agreement details are quietly hidden, paving the way for Mekerot to slip in as a so-called strategic partner shielded from scrutiny. Lastly, projects move forward with little or no socio-environmental assessment, masking the risks to local communities and ecosystems. Socio-environmental collectives have denounced Mekerot's agreements due to their lack of transparency, links to polluting industries, and negative impact in regions already suffering from drought and water scarcity. Argentina is the latest country to be targeted by Mekerot's exploitation. 10 Argentinian provinces have already signed water management agreements with Mekerot. In July 2025, the government of Argentinian President Javier Milei, a close ally of Israel, officially announced the privatization of 90% of the country's national water firm, paving the way for private companies like Mekerot to snatch shares and make profits. While the measure still requires congressional approval, local movements have sounded the alarm about Israel gaining control of one of the country's vital resources. Behind this model lies another government agenda that Mekerot is happy to exploit, serving extractive industries. In Argentina's port city of Bahia Blanca, Mekerot designed a wastewater reuse plant with millions of dollars in public funding to supply a petrochemical complex, prioritizing the industrial use of water over the population's needs. Civil society groups describe the company's strategy as liquid colonialism, a Zionist blueprint of control and dispossession exported from Palestine to the rest of the world, where water is commodified, indigenous rights are ignored, and ecosystems are sacrificed for profits. Companies in the Netherlands and Portugal have previously cut ties with Mekerot over its discriminatory practices in occupied Palestinian territories, where the indigenous population is forced to rely on Israel to access the basic human right of water. Since 1967, Israel has prohibited Palestinian communities from building water infrastructure without military permission. Apart from illegally owning wells in Palestine's occupied West Bank and aiding Israeli forces in confiscating irrigation pipes from Palestinian farmers, Mekerot's profits are generated from selling stolen water back to Palestinians at rates up to 10 times higher than those charged to Israeli water corporations. While illegal Israeli settlers consume around 200 liters of water per day, Palestinians are restricted to less than the minimum recommended level, amounting to only 84.5 liters. And when Israel imposed a full blockade on Palestine's Gaza on October 7, 2023, Mekerot was responsible for cutting water supplies to the Palestinian territory. Meanwhile, Israeli forces were simultaneously destroying water treating plants and crucial infrastructure, pushing the besieged enclave into a severe water crisis and forcing Palestinians to drink polluted water contaminated with toxic waste and diseases. How can a state company, proven to use unethical and illegal colonialist tactics on Palestinians, be entrusted with protecting sacred water supplies in other countries around the world?